Weirdos! This episode is brought to you by Ashley. Your home should show off who you are. As the largest furniture store brand in North America, Ashley can help you create a comfortable, functional, and stylish home that you can feel proud of, and in a price range that works for you. With Ashley's lifestyle-driven designs, you don't have to choose between practical and being stylish. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. All right, brothers, we're going to get into the actual intro, but first, Big Red has something to tell you.
I do have something to tell you today. We have somebody very special on the pod, in the pod lab, the second pod lab.
Ash Kell's pod lab.
Ash Kell's pod
Welcome
lab.
to the pod lab. It's still a little bit under construction, but we're working on it.
We have...
Whoa!
Thanks, Mikie.
That was badass.
We have Paul Tremblay on the pod today. Paul is the critically acclaimed New York Times bestselling author of Head Full of Ghosts, The Pallbearers Club, Cabin at the End of the World, and actually that one has already been adapted to a film. It's Knock at the Cabin, I believe it's called. So go check that out. And Head Full of Ghosts is going to be adapted to a movie.
So cool.
Wait for that. His newest release right here, Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep, which is an amazing title. It's coming out June 30th. That's wherever you can find books. We have actually already recorded with Paul and had a fucking fantastic time.
He was so nice.
He's phenomenal. His books are phenomenal. And I urge you to go check them out. And we're really excited for you to see our conversation with him.
Woo!
Yay.
Before we get into the episode, we do just have to thank our sponsor one more time. Ashley is such an icon. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about this gorgeous furniture that we are sitting on and our feet are upon and our drink are upon. This is the Revion Lake sofa that we're sitting on. It's comfy.
It's really comfy.
It's chic. I love the color, and it's washable, which is nice. I got the love seat over there. And then we have the Meili coffee table, which I'm actually ordering another one to put in my living room downstairs because I love it so much.
I'd like to say really quick that the Schweppes on there was a mistake.
A mistake.
Yeah.
Instacart, I'm not talking to you right now. And finally, these are the core stone tables, the end tables. What I love about these is that I feel like I'm like a QVC girl.
Yeah.
I love that you can dress them up, like the shelves. You can kind of just like put all your accoutrements, all your decor, your trinkets, your tchotchkes. Your horror movies, your Awala, your game that you crafted with your sister and Hunt a Killer. You can just put anything on the end table. So thank you to Ashley for sponsoring today's episode and for sending us this really cool furniture.
Because it's sick.
And without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah. Hey, weirdos, I'm Ash.
I'm Alaina.
And I'm Grady Hendrix. No, wait, I'm Paul.
We said, Paul, you can be whoever you want to be today.
And he chose Grady Hendrix.
Oh, and guys, this is Morbid.
This is a very special Morbid. We have we already introduced him, but I'm going to introduce him again. This is Paul Tremblay. If you don't know him, go figure it out because there's a body of work that you need to get into right now. He's an amazing writer, and you're missing out if you haven't read his books.
So get to it.
And also, there's several adaptations that have been happening lately.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The most recent would be a Head Full of Ghosts wrapped filming in the Dublin area. Which is where actually Victorian Psycho was filmed in Ireland as well. So
that's cool.
Virginia and I talked a little bit about. But anyway, wrapped and probably be out in a year from now. And yeah, super excited.
I'm really excited for that. That's actually one of my favorite of your books.
Thank you so much.
I'm very excited about that.
It's going to be a scary movie.
Yeah, love that.
They didn't pull any punches. So the directors, it was weird. We were talking, my wife and I, on the way over. The director is our Austrian niece and nephew. Like just kind of fun. That
oh my God, that's so cool.
Oh, that is funny.
Like
us.
Like us.
Or aunt, I should say aunt and nephew. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Cool. That's so cool.
That's rad.
I love that. Well, that we mentioned Victorian Psycho.
Yes.
That's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes.
This was actually your pick, which we were very excited. And I had heard about this book. It's by Virginia Feito, excuse me. And I've heard about this book everywhere. Like I'm on TikTok, like Book Talk loves it. I've heard about it. So many people have told me you have to read this book. and it's been on my TBR forever. So when you mentioned it, I was like, well, perfect time.
Great.
I ate this book up in one day,
Yep,
like one
sitting.
afternoon. Literally, just ate it up. It's so easy to read. It is such a good book. I think it's so unique.
Yeah, I feel like I've never read anything quite like this.
Yeah,
You know?
truly.
Yeah.
And we're going to get really into it in a minute. But first, I want to talk to you about you.
Okay.
Because you guys got to know who Paul is.
I'm not Victorian.
You're not Victorian. Not
Are you
quite.
a psycho?
Yeah. Only when I don't
To be
eat.
determined.
Yeah, we'll figure it out through this. So we were actually just talking about this. Congrats on finally becoming a full-time writer.
Thank you.
That's
huge.
incredible.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a little weird, a little daunting. Yeah, I've been a high school math teacher for 30 years, and people usually react more in horror to that than they do to horror writing.
I was going to say that's horror to me. Be honest.
No, I totally get it. At a small school local to here, and they were always super supportive and let me be the weirdo horror writing agnostic math teacher in a Catholic
Love
boys
that.
school.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's badass.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
That's a
cool.
story in and
Yeah.
of itself that you need to write, I think.
so
That
very,
really
very
is.
thankful. They're never, if I missed a day or two to go to like a festival or something, they were great.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so rare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I can
sure.
see why you stayed there for so long.
No, it was like, my artistic writerly safety net.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
similar to you. Like
Mhm.
you were just telling me how you kept your job for a long time. I mean, it was just nice to know, hey, I had this job that sometimes paid our shitty health insurance. And then, I could write a book, and if it was weird, that's okay.
Yeah.
And if I needed to say no, I could, because I
Yeah.
didn't have to like do what the publisher said or what people expected.
I know. And I think that actually makes it better. I feel like you probably were a little able to be more free and creative with that when you have that safety net. Because when it's all
Yeah.
on you, it's like, like this has to work. It has to be what everyone likes.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Always admire friends who make a go of it, full time, and that's how they've been supporting their family for years. I mean, that's a pressure that I'll have to figure out. Although my
Yeah.
kids are older now, so they're on their own.
So whatever.
Yeah, medium
so who
pressure.
cares?
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely like the most successful like part-time writer I've ever seen.
appreciate
Like
it.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. I think I saw you post about it, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, he's not full-time doing this. What the hell? But you seem to have come to the full-time side of writing at the right time, because I feel like horror is having kind of like a cultural renaissance right now. Like
Yeah.
even like with movies and stuff like Backrooms, Weapons, Sinners, Frankenstein, Obsession. Why do you think that's happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to answer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, I think some of it was funny. Let me back up. So A Head Full of Ghosts was the book that sort of made me like that broke out. And when we were trying to sell that in early 2014, a lot of publishers were like, but it's horror. And like we eventually did get it published, which was amazing, but just, it's not that long ago. Like now, like 11, 12 years later,
No.
it's like,
That people were like, oh.
Publishers Weekly reports and like, the sale, like the publisher acquisition of horror novels is up 25% from last year, which was up
Wow.
25% from the year before. And it's just, the worst case scenario person in me that, powers my books is like, oh no, it's going to be a bubble that pops
Yep.
like next week.
Right.
It's gonna
that's
happen.
nerve-wracking.
But no, I mean, I think it's in a healthy place. We're finally getting to see it's not just, authors who look, white straight authors who look like me and Grady. It's,
Mhm.
we're getting to see way more own voices. And, to me, that's like one of the most exciting parts about what we're seeing, both in film and in publishing.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I think it's like different point of views coming into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think finally people are being open to that, which
Yeah.
is nice. And I love it. I love seeing that.
It's
And
so
I love
fun.
seeing them like win awards. I love all of like seeing this happen. I'm like, ugh, it's time. It's our
Yeah.
time.
No, I mean, I think the other part of it is I think, I'll talk about Gen X a little bit. Like, I mean, so many of us grew up reading Stephen King and watching the
Mhm.
movies. And then, the later half of the previous decade, so many of us were now publishing books like, the children, if not of Stephen King, but of that time
Yeah,
period. And
Right.
yeah, like I said, there's less of it. There's still a stigma with horror, which I hope never leaves, frankly. I mean, I
It's
always
kind of
want horror.
nice.
Horror should be poking and prodding at uncomfortable things and on the boundaries. So I hope it doesn't lose that. Yeah. So I think honestly, Get Out has a lot to do with it. Like
Oh
when
my
that
God.
came
Yeah.
out, like that was the first time
Yeah.
broader culture, especially academia and mainstream reviewers were like, there were I remember literal articles in the New York Times like, do we need to take horror seriously
Yes.
because of that movie?
They were like,
Yeah,
wait
that
a
movie
minute.
did change
You do.
the
Yeah.
landscape a little.
That movie is flawless to
I
me.
love that
Like,
movie.
Truly flawless. I love that movie.
So good.
Now, do you remember the exact moment that you realized that you wanted to write horror?
Oh, geez, no.
It's a tough one.
No, it's hard to explain how I got there. I mean, I'm a lifelong scaredy cat for one. So I've always had like a love, terrified relationship with horror.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Still, like if I'm alone in the house, I'm not above sleeping with like a desk lamp on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, same.
Or noise machines and
Yep.
still go up the basement steps too quick just because I'm ridiculous. But I mean, I wasn't even like a huge reader as a kid. Like I was just sort of like a nerdy math person. Loved the Celtics. 'cause I grew up around here. And it wasn't until college where I met my wife Lisa. She bought me right after I graduated. Two things happened. My last, and I hope this isn't too boring. You can cut it. I had to take a English requirement. I was in a freshman English class, second semester senior year.
Oh,
But
damn.
it blew my mind. I had like the stereotype experience, and
Okay.
the teacher was a big punk music fan, and I was too, so we connected.
hell
But
yeah.
anyway, one of the stories I read in that class was Joyce Carol Oates's "Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been?" And I
Mhm.
remember reading it, and I actually said aloud, I was like, I didn't know people wrote things like this.
Oh, I love that.
And shortly after that, Lisa bought me The Stand after graduation, and I hailed that. When I went off to grad school for 2 years and struggled by the skin of my teeth to get a master's degree, that's when I was reading everything Stephen King wrote. And
Yep.
from Dance Macabre, I branched out to like Peter Straub and Clive Barker and Shirley Jackson. And then 2 years after that, I got my first teaching job, and I had the weird itch to try writing a story. Inexplicable. Like, why would I try writing a story? Like, I'm
love
a math
that, though.
teacher.
I love that though.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's how I felt too when I first started writing. Like my first book, I was like, I don't know how to write a story. Like I was like, I can't write a whole book. Like what am
Yeah.
I doing?
But
Like
you
I'll
have to
just write
imagine
this down.
everybody feels that way when they
I feel like
first
everyone
write
has
something.
to feel that way, in
Yeah.
the beginning, being
For
like,
sure.
I'm not going to get to the end of this. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't going to be something someone reads.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I'm terrible at writing advice, so I don't give it. The only thing I tell, especially to younger people, it's like, hey, hopefully you come to this realization a lot earlier than I did, but hopefully, you come to the realization that it's okay to like things. And it's
Mhm.
getting harder and harder to do that
Yes.
with, obviously with just, social media life and everyone hates everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to like things. That means it's okay to be passionate about it and maybe
Yes.
want to try it yourself. And I mean, that's such an important, it has to be your first step.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that because I'm constantly trying to tell my kids that. I'm like, I want to tell you now when you're young, like you can be passionately excited about
Yeah.
things and not feel weird about it.
Mhm.
Like don't make you feel like you can't be all in on something
Right.
and want to do it or want to experience it or want to learn everything you can about it. Like I feel like we have got to a place now where like
Everybody wants to
especially
be the
social media.
same.
and everything's cringe. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Right.
that's so cringy that you're into this. It's like, stop. I
Yeah.
hate that.
Unless they
Unique.
like Grady Hendrix books, then we should really
Then
stop.
that's cringe.
Stop that. Yeah.
I love Grady.
Grady?
Grady's a friend. I just like making fun of him.
You
We
gotta.
love Grady. We had him on and we had the most fun with him. He's great.
That was a fun episode.
He
yeah.
is so much fun.
He's so funny.
He was really fun with the Would You Rather. So
Oh,
get ready
yeah.
for
I know,
that.
it's
Yep.
And actually, like this kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about next. So speaking of like a love of writing and getting passionate about things, AI.
Yeah.
I have to rant with you about
Sure,
it because
yeah.
I think we feel the exact same way about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's upsetting me so much that because like books like this, like Victorian Psycho, aren't gonna happen
No.
with AI. And it's making me crazy
Yeah.
that it's become a thing. And I feel like you need to go through the whole like being inspired to write something, coming up with the idea, like working through it. At some point, like reading your own writing and being like, oh my God, I'm a genius. And then the next day reading it and being like, I'm a hack and I should never do this.
Right.
And then fighting through that feeling and coming out on the other side. Like you need to have that full experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of a sudden we're going to get these books that don't have that behind it. And I feel like you need that injected into the book for it to be
yeah, I
what
have
it needs to be.
no interest in reading it. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole idea to me is reading something or watching a movie or any other piece of art. What the connection is, oh, this person felt like I did. Or
Yeah.
feels like I do too.
Right.
And
Mhm.
there will never be any of that.
No,
With AI, never mind that they steal our books.
exactly.
And I was a part of the first lawsuit suing OpenAI on behalf of writers
I love
for
that.
2 years. It's myself, other horror leading the way.
Let's
Christopher
go.
Golden, another
Nice.
horror writer,
Yeah.
and Richard Cadre, and also weirdly, well, not weirdly, but like not horror writer, but Sarah
Right.
Silverman. We were the
Mhm.
first four and spent 2 years as a part of it. There's so many lawsuits, they consolidated all to one. So then
Yeah.
I didn't continue because they also chose different lawyers. It was weird, but
Mhm.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm sorry if it makes people uncomfortable, but like you're not a writer or a visual artist if you're using it. You're a
No.
scab to use like we don't have a union, but I'm going to use union
Yeah.
terms.
Yeah.
You're a scab.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's stolen work
yeah.
yeah.
It just
at
it
the end of the day.
makes me crazy. And there's just no humanity behind it. Like AI can't come up. I mean, you can always see it in like metaphors and stuff that you'll see written by AI. You're like, that doesn't even make sense. Like because you don't have the capacity as a computer to compare two things. Like you just don't. Like it doesn't make any sense.
In one way, it's like it's helped crystallize like why I'm, still passionate about reading and, watching movies and, and viewing art. But, it's the connection components. It's like, why do we have to defend this or explain why that this is important?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes it so you have a book coming out on June 30th, and it's Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep. I love that title, first of all.
That's such a good title.
Such a good title. And it has some like AI components in it, like in the story. It's about that. The plot seems so interesting to me. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. I'm bad at the quick pitch.
I'm terrible at it, so don't worry.
I think that's like a thing across the board with authors.
Now that we have that out of the way.
Yeah.
So, the main conceit is that there's someone who's like my age and Bill working for, well, not Google because I didn't want to get sued. I think I called them Decillion, a giant tech company in the Silicon Valley.
Okay.
He's working on campus in the mailroom and he doesn't drop dead, but he has a massive stroke where, he can breathe and his heart's beating, but he's not, there's no consciousness. He's in a vegetative state, so they say. He signed his body directly over to the company though prior to this happening, and
as one does.
Yeah, as one does. And they implant AI and nano bots into his brain so someone can remote control him like they're playing a video game.
So
That's
scary.
the creepiest thing.
So most of that happens off page. The semi-estranged 24-year-old daughter of the CFO, she was an ex-professional gamer, is hired to basically weekend at Bernie's him across the country.
Oh my God.
So I'm hopeful. Like I hope that a big chunk of this book, maybe the first 2/3 of her chapters, Julia's chapters, is definitely satire and hopefully very funny.
Yeah.
Even though it's ultimately a serious thing. So the book is split between her chapters and chapters that are titled "You," which is from the point of view of the man with the tech in his head. So he is still conscious because of what they've put in his head. He's going through like a phantasmagorical hellscape.
Oh,
and then the two narratives sort of link up at the end, and everyone's happy and hugs. And,
Oh, I love this.
Cool.
I love the
I don't know
dual
about that
POV.
ending, but,
That's going to be good. I'm really
Yeah, I
excited
love
for that.
a dual POV.
Love it.
That's really cool. And to think
Yeah.
about just like being unconscious but conscious at the same time. That's wild.
That's honestly my
no,
worst
definitely
nightmare.
very horrific.
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
very Black
Yeah.
Mirror.
And the control aspect of it is my literal worst nightmare. I am the biggest control freak in the world. The idea of somebody controlling me when I can't.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
One of my fears writing the book was, even though the premise seems absurd, I was like, man, I got to get this done before it can actually happen.
I was
And
going to
like,
say
Yeah,
before
I
you
know.
2
just
weeks ago, there was a story where some company has brains in jars, like some companies do apparently,
Yeah, you know.
like Futurama.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were testing either both pain medication or addiction to drugs, testing the brains. And one of the spokespersons said, "Oh, the wiring is almost taken out of what it would take for them to be conscious. Almost."
Stop.
Yeah.
I hate
You're like
the word
speed
almost
writing.
in that.
Yeah.
You get it
Like,
into
I
your
gotta
editor.
get
You're like,
there.
please hurry.
Right.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I hate that.
I want to go back to something that you said earlier because I related to that so much. I'm such a horror fan, but I'm also such a fraidy cat. And you said the same
Yeah.
thing. I wonder, do you have any fears that you've never explored in your writing that you would eventually want to someday?
That's a great question. I don't think no one's ever asked it in that way.
Hey, all right.
Look at that.
I mean, there's some fears that I won't write about just because it's too scary for me.
Sure.
And being just a teen of the 80s, like nuclear war stuff, really, anything that brushes up against that is too much for me.
That'll
So
do
That's
it.
how I feel too.
I don't write
Yeah.
about it. So I won't watch Oppenheimer.
Yep.
I'm sure it's a good movie.
End of the world
Yeah,
stuff for
too
me
much.
is like too real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I use so much of my own life, much to the chagrin of my family, in my books. It's hard to say what's coming next. And I wish
Right.
I was someone who had like a bullpen of ideas. And for novels, I just go from novel and then I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do now?
Oh,
And then it
man.
just
Try
comes to
start,
you.
and just try to start from scratch, and hopefully there's some inspiration. So
All right.
That's
yeah,
so
like
interesting.
I don't know, I can't say like, oh, I definitely want to try this or that. It's like I don't know.
You're like,
I'm
maybe.
just
Who
totally
knows?
focused on the thing I'm working on.
Yeah, that makes
that's
sense.
cool,
You
though.
got to see it through.
Yeah.
I get that.
I have the weirdest notes in my note app of like ideas, but
I
they're
wish I
like
had that. Yeah.
they're like sometimes I'll look at them and I'm like, I don't know what I meant with this. Like I will never go
Yeah.
back to that. I don't
You
know.
also have the weirdest dreams that I feel like
I do, yeah.
like nightmares, I should say. I feel like so many of your ideas come from a little blip in your dream.
Mm.
Yeah, or my kids. Weirdly, well,
Your
they're at
kids
the
are
age
scary.
where like they'll tell me a little bit of a like nightmare or something that they're scared of, and I'm like, can I use that? Like, is that
Yeah.
cool if I put that in
Oh,
a book?
you even asked them permission?
Yeah, I'm like, is it? I know I should just take. I'm like,
Yeah.
I made you.
My
So.
poor
Throw it away.
children. My
Yeah.
poor children.
Yeah,
I've done taking things
like I'm just
without permission.
taking.
Yeah.
Including A Head Full of Ghosts. I scarred my wife Lisa with it because young Mary, the 8-year-old character, was definitely our daughter Emma when she was
Oh my
8
God,
years
I
old.
love
That was
that.
like
No
her
way.
personality. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I mean, hey, you have to
I
write
love
what
that.
you know, right?
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my youngest had an imaginary friend. Skeletone was one, but he's not going to be in a book.
The Mister.
But the Mister, and she named him the Mister,
creepy.
which I
And
was
she
like,
once
creepy.
told us
That's it.
he'll always find you.
yeah.
So like
She literally
picture
said-
that on a cover.
She said, "Don't
Yeah.
worry, the Mister will always find you." Like, I think it was because they were playing hide and seek, her and my husband, and they were like hiding under a blanket, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Who are we hiding from? Like, who's finding?" And she was like, "The Mister," and he was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And she was like, "Don't worry, he'll always find us." And he was like,
It's like
I hate this.
comforting.
Like, what does that
That's
mean?
terrifying.
I
That's a
know.
great
Yeah.
Baroque title. The Mister will always
Right?
find you.
The
Yeah.
Mister will always find you.
I like it.
TM. It's mine.
Going back to scary memories or anything like that, do you know, or can you think of the first story that ever scared you so badly that it's still with you to this day? Maybe you read it or you heard it.
Oh yeah. So I mean, for me, it was all movies. I mean, I'm trying to think age-wise. There was, I mean, in this, when I say this area, I don't want to give away where you guys live, but
Yeah.
in the New England area,
Sure.
I'm old enough that there was a program called Creature Double Feature that played. Man, this was like late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
On Saturday, so they'd show 2 movies. The first movie was always like Godzilla or Gamera, a kaiju movie, and that's what drew me in.
Yeah.
The second movie was a horror movie, like a Hammer horror movie or black and
I
white.
love this.
You know,
Oh, that's
some of
fun.
the like just dumbest horror movies that
Yeah.
eventually were on Mystery Science Theater.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Those gave me nightmares. I had a Attack of the Killer Shrew nightmares.
Oh my
Nightmare that I still
goodness.
remember. It's such a bad movie. I had nightmares from the movie Alien before seeing it because I was listening to my parents, and my aunt talk about how scary the movie was.
Oh my God. I
That
love
used to happen to me when I was
Yeah.
little all the time. In fact, I remember you were there at one of my uncle's houses and all of you guys were talking about it. And I just heard like the tail end and like little bits of your conversation. And I was afraid of whatever it was. I didn't even know what it was, but I
But
was
your mind made it
so
up.
scared of it for like months.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But by far, Jaws gave me the most nightmares by far.
Jaws
It
is such a
ruined me.
foray into horror, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really started at my high school, which is weird. When I was like
Really?
in 5th grade, they were showing summer
Just
movies at the
playing
high
it.
school because they had like an auditorium.
Okay.
And my dad took me and he pitched the movie to me this way. He's like, "Paul, there's a scene in this movie that captures of what it feels like to catch a fish. That moment right when you catch it on the hook." I was
And you're like,
"Oh."
awesome, I'm in.
You're like,
He's
yeah, let's
true.
watch that.
I mean, yeah, that scene where Quint hooks him.
There.
It's there, but like you could have told me some other things about that
You,
movie.
you left out some bits.
Little different feeling, you know?
Yeah. So like it's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it 50 times since, but I
Mhm.
still cover my eyes when Quint gets, sorry for the spoiler, but when
Spoiler
Quint's
alert
got
for
time.
Jaws.
when Quint when he gets bit in half,
Oh,
that
yeah.
broke my little 10-year-old brain.
I'm
And I'm not
sure.
exaggerating. I had 10 years of shark nightmares after that movie.
Oh, I believe
Goodness.
that.
So I've seen the movie. I've watched it with my kids, and we'll ceremoniously put the pillow over our faces
I
when the
love
scene
that.
I
comes.
love it.
No, I've seen way more gorier stuff. I'm just like
That one just has
afraid
something.
that my brain will return to the 10-year-old brain.
Yeah.
It probably
Yeah.
would.
It could. It's a
Yeah.
core memory,
Yeah.
you know? Your kids want to see Jaws so badly. So
They-
now we're going to rethink that
Yeah.
one.
And my oldest are 10. They're 10-year-old twins, and they want to see
Okay.
it so badly. So I've been like easing them in by being like, here's a picture of Bruce the shark as a robot. Like, it's not real. I'm trying to be like, here's the behind the scenes of all of it. So hopefully it'll help, but I'm like, I don't know.
You have a pool or friends with a pool and put the TV and then be on floats while you're watching the
I
movie.
want to
Oh.
do it so bad.
That would be so good.
It would
We have
ruin
the
them,
projector too. We do need to do
Yeah.
that.
You know, they're so brave. Like, they're so brave at first about horror things.
Yeah.
They're like, I can do this. Let's do it. And
But then the nighttime
Oh,
rolls
it's easy to be
around.
brave during the day, for
yeah.
sure.
And
Yeah.
we regret it immediately.
That's how I am still.
Yeah.
Very brave during the day.
So
And then
brave.
at night, I'm like, this is so scary.
And I don't want to ruin horror for them. So I'm
Right.
trying to like ease it in. I'm like, I don't want to give you trauma right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Start with
Pretty tough.
Gremlins. Have they seen Gremlins?
They haven't
That's
yet.
a good one.
We were just calling them gremlins.
I was gonna say I
Yeah.
refer to them as gremlins
Okay,
a lot
yeah.
because at nighttime they always have like an assortment of ailments and
They're
there's
always eating after
nightmares
midnight.
and eating. I'm like,
Literally.
I can't feed you after midnight. Can't get you wet.
Can't get them wet.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Straight up
very
gremlins.
precarious.
I do wonder, going back to your writing process, what's the strangest place that you've gotten inspiration from a book that you can think of?
There was a moment of like panic when I was on a train in England.
Okay.
I was doing an amazing book tour over there for The Cabin at the End of the World.
Okay.
And I knew the next book was due in less than a year at this point.
Ooh.
And the novel I was imagining doing was going to be a big one, and it was going to take way longer than a year. I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? I got to come up with an idea. And I had this weird what if for a zombie that I don't want to say necessarily because it spoils the book.
Okay.
So that was sort of like forced. I guess forced
Panic-induced
I don't know,
inspiration.
the other ways, it's just fun, like where it comes from. You never know. Like my book Horror Movie came from friend and amazing writer. Sorry to name drop. I've already mentioned Grady, but Stephen Graham Jones, amazing guy.
Right.
An amazing.
He's like,
name
hey, you
drop,
should
by the
watch
way.
this YouTube. My friend Walter Chow is this, great critic, and he hosts these matinees and then talks about the movie. So basically, it was an hour of Walter and writer and musician John Darnielle talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh,
which was a movie that I wasn't brave enough to watch until I was in my late 30s.
I love that.
But since I've seen it, I love that movie, and
Such
that
a good one.
their discussion sent me into a rabbit hole that became horror movie. So I don't know. It's just you never know where it comes from, and just
Yeah.
try to be open to it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm actually. I am in the middle of reading Horror Movie right now,
Oh.
and I love it.
thank
So there's that.
That's on my TBR list. You're coming up close.
See?
Yeah,
Coming
I
up.
appreciate it.
Once you read it, I'll just steal it from you.
Yeah, there you go. I'll hand it over. So, and going with the writing process still, do you start with an ending in mind, or do you just kind of like torture it out of your characters and then see what happens?
I like how you put that. I typically have some notion of the ending. Sometimes it's really foggy. Sometimes it can be, this is the last line. I have to earn my way there.
Oh, I like that.
So I'd say most of the time it's, obviously I have a beginning and a vague, or sometimes the end in mind. And it's like the hard part is all the stuff
Getting
in
there.
between.
Meet in the middle.
Getting
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're the king of ambiguous endings. I feel like that you have to figure it out. You get to decide kind of.
Yeah, I guess I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I don't know if you've heard that or
Yeah.
not. But do you always know the true ending, or are you kind of feeling that
Right.
way too?
It depends on the story. So A Head Full of Ghosts, in my mind, there's no true ending. And I think, when I
love
wrote
that.
it, I had to purposely divorce myself from thinking there was a true ending. Because I thought then the true ending would have leaked through, and I didn't want that. Like, I wanted A Head Full of Ghosts, if it was scary at all, to be scary precisely because we didn't know
Mhm.
and have that. To me, that's just the scary part of life. Like,
I like
Yeah.
that.
we have beliefs, but ultimately we just don't know. And I
Yeah.
think anytime you use ambiguity, it helps trigger that a little bit, which helps maybe scare people if it works that way.
I like that.
The Cabin at the End of the World, I way underestimated how many people were going to be upset not knowing if the world was ending or not. Because to me, the story became not about that. It became
Yeah.
about the husbands and what
Right.
they were going to decide. That
Right.
to me, that was the story. But something like the Pallbearers Club, it plays with ambiguity. But I'm pretty sure she's a vampire at
Yeah.
the end. If you don't want
That's
to
how I
believe
felt.
she is, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I would not. I would definitely wouldn't want to like spoil someone's reading experience.
But she's a vampire.
I mean, that's fun. Who
I
wouldn't
kinda
want
think
that to
she
be
is,
the
Yeah,
ending?
I think so too.
Yeah.
I
All
like
right.
that. I think it's more fun
I
that
think
way
so.
because it lets somebody, it like stays with someone longer when they have to sit there and think about it and wonder
Yeah, I
and
think
go through
so.
the
I
different.
mean,
you
I
know?
hope it's never. I never want it to be like a cheap like twist. Twists are fun, but like I don't want that to be just like a gimmick. Like
Yeah, you don't want
like,
that to be like
I
the thing.
even if anyone out there has read it and doesn't like it, just I don't know if this assures you or makes you feel better, but like I thought hard about it. It's like if I'm going to do this, I know I'm asking a lot to read 300 pages and then maybe having open ended stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I try to write books that I want to read.
Yeah.
and like I like having sort of the questions linger afterwards.
Yeah, I like that
I
too.
do too.
I think it's scarier, like you said.
Mhm.
One last question for you about your writing process or
Yeah.
just writing in general. If readers can take one thing away from your work beyond the scares, what would you want that to be?
Oh wow, that's
I know we're ending on a heavy question.
yeah, that's hard. well, especially with the novels, what I typically lean towards doing is I'm trying to make it feel like as realistic as possible. This is what it would feel like if there was a maybe demon possession, or this is what it would look like.
Okay.
And maybe just hopefully people take away like the characters. Like I can really only think of, prior to the novel that's coming out, like one mustache twisting villain in all my prior books in
Right.
Cabin. There's one character who might be a villain, but everyone else I want people to again, some of the horror I think is these people are doing terrible things. I write them in such a way, hopefully, that you still understand why they did it, and maybe recognize like, oh, if not, but for other circumstances in my own life and the luck that I've had and the privilege, that maybe that would be me. And to me, that's a scary sort of realization.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but it depends on the story. I mean, these are just the things that I write. Like in the book that's coming out, the AI in the book is definitely not to be
Ignored.
sympathized with at all in any way. But yeah.
All right, guys, we're taking a quick break so that we can talk about one of our most favorite sponsors, Ashley. I am obsessed with Ashley, and they were nice enough to send us this gorgeous furniture that you see me sitting my little bum on. And we got a coffee table. We got this gorgeous sofa. We got the love seat over here. We'll show you all these different pieces. It was so important to me when I was updating my studio that I really wanted like a timeless, almost kind of like vintage feel. I love really rich dark woods, which you can see. This is the core stone end table. One, I love, again, the rich dark wood, but also the fact that you can kind of dress up the bottom shelves or like the little shelves right there with your decor style. This is the Revion Lake sofa and the matching love seat over there. One, I love that it goes really well with what we have already for Morbid decor. And two, I just feel like the color fits so well with the paint color and the overall vibe that we have in here. So thank you so much to Ashley. We are obsessed with this furniture. Your home or your pod lab should show off who you are. Ashley has styles that balance timeless appeal and modern trends to bring your personal look home. Ashley is dependable with a modern feel, offering well-crafted, as you can see, affordable pieces built to stand up to real life and with great looks that are made to last. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable white glove delivery right to your room of choice. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. All right, so let's talk about your book club pick, Victorian Psycho. Excellent pick, top notch.
Such a good pick.
This book is little, but she is fierce.
She is.
To quote, who is that? Is that Shakespeare?
Sure.
Mighty? I don't know.
She's
Who
mighty.
knows? So let's talk about moments that made us cringe throughout the book, because I cringed throughout this entire thing.
It was a lot of cringe.
Yeah.
I tabbed the hell out of this
Oh,
book.
wow. Yeah.
I could not stop.
Also, can I just say, like, I love Winifred. She's awful,
Yeah.
but she's hilarious. And
Yeah.
I was
loved
like
her.
rooting for her in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, kill that family.
No, like I was laughing and gasping.
Yes.
Less cringy. Like I couldn't. Yeah. So we're gonna get spoilery. This is good.
Yes,
This is
we're
great.
going to
Okay.
get spoilery. It'll be in the notes too, so you guys know.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking
Okay.
about the book.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I was lucky to be sent like an arc, and I happened to have the time to be able to read it. And I was a little nervous going into it, only because like anytime like, and I know this from experience, like using a title that references like a famous work.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh,
You're like, uh-oh.
we'll see.
Could be a little nerve-wracking.
Obviously,
Because it's
American
immediately
Psycho,
gonna be
which I've
compared.
read, and actually, it's pretty awful. I really do like that book.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. But man, she had me at the end of the first chapter. Mrs. Abel, I muse, is a woman who has never held a penis.
Yeah.
It was just the
I
timing of
tabbed that
it.
one.
She was describing, like I'm so bad at remembering the character names, but describing the woman who was in charge of like the
Yep.
house and everything.
It
It's just like you were not expecting that line. There were so many lines that you were just not expecting. It was just said so plainly.
That's what I loved.
Yeah.
She was just so funny. And like the little asides that she would make to the reader
Oh,
were
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
I felt like we were like friends throughout
I
the
know.
reading process.
Because she would say something like "Dear Reader" or something, and I was like, "I know,
Right.
girl." Like I was like, "We're in this together."
You're like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I love that she had like it was like the little asides that you didn't see coming, where she was like, "I teach them history and arithmetic and what corpses smell like and French," and I was like, "Wait, what? Back
Yeah.
up!" Like that's part of it. And they're just sprinkled everywhere in this book.
They
I
really
loved
are.
it. She's surprised me everywhere.
She did.
Yeah. Also, like with the like cringy moments, I felt like there was so many genuinely hilarious moments that I felt guilty laughing at times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like there was a point when she's this is awful, but with like original baby when she's like
Original baby and new
original
baby took
and
me
new
out.
baby was killing me the
Yeah.
entire time. And when she says, I spit out the blood and see, as so often happens when one slits an infant's carotid artery, that the baby is dead. I was like, why is that funny and awful? Like,
I
the way
was so
she said
nervous
that.
going into it because one of my friends read this before me and she was like, just so you know, there's like kid death and like
And I
she
was
like
like, oh,
kills
no.
babies. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like that. And then she's like, you know, as so often happens when you kill a
Yeah,
baby.
just-
And I was like,
Yeah.
You know?
why is that hilarious?
Like, no, I don't know how that is.
Yeah, I knew nothing going in. That was so shocking. That was
Yeah.
like a gasp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, laugh despite yourself.
Yeah, I was
Right.
like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but this is
Well, I think
hilarious.
it's one of the magic tricks of Winnie is, and Virginia is manipulating the reader.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like to get you to be somewhat on her side.
Mhm.
And I think people, based on what I see online, have like false memories of this book because they want to root for her and they assume, oh no, she's only killing bad people.
It's
Like,
like,
yeah, she's
no.
killing the patriarchy and she's killing like the rich people. She's kind of killing everybody.
Kill babies
Like
a
there's
lot.
nobody is spared.
No.
No.
Like,
She's an
Which- which
equal
I really-
opportunist killer.
which
Yeah.
I really admired about her approach because it could have been like, I mean, it makes us feel good, but it could have been like,
Yeah.
like superhero, like she
Right.
only kills the bad people. and,
Right.
like, I don't know. I only get so much mileage out of some of those stories because
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like real life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like when I read like not all happy endings, but like when I read stuff like that, like I actually feel worse because it's like, oh, that made me feel good, but that's not the way it is.
But that's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though as wild and fantastical in some ways that this book is, it just feels like, oh,
She just
Um,
went for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
she really
that.
did.
Yeah, because she says like the dead babies in the boxes that she sent to the nuns with like the sorry, here's another one note. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, here's one more. And they
Yeah.
kind of like touch on that earlier. I
Yeah.
think when she's sitting down with them and she's like about to eat and kind of interview with them,
Mhm.
like they're like, oh, that's so awful that that's happening. And in the back of your mind, you're like, is that her doing
I'm like,
that?
are you doing
And then
that?
she's like, can confirm.
yeah, can confirm. Just with the note,
Wild.
sorry, here's another one. I was like,
Yeah.
what? And to
And just like
nuns.
breaking out of sort of the Victorian speak a
Yeah.
little bit too.
Yeah. There was a
Yes.
few times
Yeah,
she did
yeah.
that for sure.
And it worked so well. And I think just like at one point she says, reader, she doth make a fine point about Drusilla. And I was like, she does.
She really does.
Mm.
I'm with you on this.
I know.
When she found the tooth in her mouth that wasn't hers, and then it just never was explained
Right.
again.
Whose tooth was that?
Like, whose molar was in her mouth?
And like, did that happen? There were so many things that
Yeah.
happened that I was like,
Mm.
did that happen?
Yeah.
Like, I think when she's really starting to unravel, she walks by one of the rooms and there's a bunch of like plague
Plague
doctors.
doctors. Yeah.
And you're like, they're not there. It's Christmas. Like, what?
But they're all just like, shh.
And then they
shut the
just
door.
close her out of there.
Yeah.
Or when original baby just talks to her out of
Yep.
nowhere.
That's how original baby got.
Yeah.
They just started talking.
I loved that.
Yeah, on my second read, to prepare for this, because I read it like, 2.5 years ago at this point.
Oh, wow.
Because I got the early
Yeah.
copy. Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe this is a little bit way more ambiguous than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Even like, because it's written in present tense, and there's some times where I forget the end of one chapter was like, it's not like, will they survive the night? And then she says they don't. Or
Yeah.
something. Like
Yeah.
it breaks from present tense, you're wondering about the state of these people in the house, to her saying, no, they don't.
I'm like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, her as a storyteller and part of it could just be explained away as it's a choice of how she's telling it because, by the end, when she's on the gallows sort of explaining things like, it just made me think, how am I learning the story? Like, how are we hearing this? And she even like says, sometimes I'm not right in the head.
Yeah.
Not in those words exactly, but
Yeah.
She's truthful.
She is.
which I loved because that was like, oh, this is a book that I could read multiple times and still,
And still wonder.
and still even though like I won't have the shock of the baby being
Yeah,
killed
right.
and replaced with some poor farmer's baby that she just plucks from
she just
the
runs down the
grounds.
street.
Yeah.
Who's going to have a different nose later on? I
Yeah.
loved that.
There's still so many other pleasures to get from this when you
Oh,
reread
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I like that she foreshadows the gallows a couple of times for you where you're like, I'm sorry, what? Like, you're just like, okay, you're going to get caught after this? Like, this isn't the end. I loved that.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Do you think of her as a psychopath, a villain, or the most honest person in the room? Or all of
it.
the above?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got to be all three, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
if
That's
you're
what
gonna
I think.
Do that to a baby.
Yeah. I feel that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it.
The baby line. But, the rest of the people in the house are
Awful.
probably as bad as she is in different ways.
I think so.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so for sure.
Yeah, Mrs. Pounds.
I hated
was like,
Mrs.
Yeah.
Pounds
I was ready.
from the jump
I
too.
was like, yeah.
And the green dress she gave her, that was probably
Yeah.
poison.
That was like
arsenic.
I missed that on the first read somehow.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
On the second read, there was more time spent with that. And, and that could be messing with her brain. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they used to make those. We looked it up. They used to
Yeah.
make those dresses out of like arsenic. So like they would
Yeah,
wear
to
them
get
a
the
few
brighter
times
the
and then
color,
start
like the
dying.
death dress was
Yeah,
like, oh, man.
literally.
Like,
Yeah.
damn.
They put it in wallpaper too.
Yeah,
Like
and
any
people-
vibrant green thing back in the day
Was
was
probably
laced with arsenic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wild. What was the first scene that made you realize this book was going to be feral? Was it the one that you already read?
I think it was probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
What
was
what
like
about
when she's, I think it was like the first chapter at the end when she says, in 3 months, everyone in this house will be dead.
Yep.
I was like,
I took notes, a couple of notes, and that was the first thing I wrote down. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
that was the first one I tabbed. I was like, damn.
And I think she starts it off by being like, yeah, it's going to be like really cold and it's going to get colder and then everyone's going to die.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like we just were all, I was rooting for her pretty early on.
Yeah.
And which I was shocked by. Because at first when I read that, I was like, oh no, like is she going to be irredeemable?
Well, and she's going to kill like a whole family.
And she is irredeemable. That's the weird thing is like,
Right.
she's completely irredeemable. But like, why did I like her? I was like, that is so hard to write a character that way
Yeah.
and have it work.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah. It's so
Yeah.
like the voice is just so
Yeah.
humorous and inviting. And she's letting you in on it. So
Yeah.
instantly that sort of like gets you over to her side.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yeah.
she is, these people are pretty terrible, right? Like,
Yeah,
Don't you think?
except, they're the people who aren't so terrible who are also getting it.
It's true. She's equal
yeah.
opportunity.
Now, the scene in the book also, like you were thinking, the feral scene, what comes to mind to me is the decayed crow pudding. That
Oh
Oh
she
my God. When she was away at
had all
school.
those kids. Oh my
The
gosh.
clergy daughter's school or whatever. it was.
That actually made my stomach turn when I was
Yeah,
reading it.
that was
That
gnarly.
was gnarly.
And she's like covering it up like with the maggots and everything. I was like,
Oh.
oh my God.
that was that was a lot. That's I think when one of the first mentions of like, and I will be hung at some point during this. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
probably, girl. I was like, that's not good.
But then I also felt like weirdly bad for her because they were so mean to her, she
I
was
know.
saying. And that was the
Yeah.
one time that like they needed her.
I know.
It reminded me, have you seen Yellow Jackets?
I haven't.
It-
Sorry.
oh, okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Misty,
Yeah.
one of the characters
Yeah.
who like, she's a psychopath, but she like wants to be needed so desperately.
And she's like bullied and kind of pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when she's needed, she like she makes a situation where she is needed.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It felt very much
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
And that's what she did. She made a situation where she was
She's
needed.
like, it's the only time that they ever were like nice to me. I'm like,
It made me
oh.
sad. And I like too that like we were just saying, we don't know who the worst person in the book is. Technically, like Winifred is the worst person in the book, but like
Probably.
there's other people that you're like, these people are also really terrible. Like Mr. Pounds is gross.
Mr. Pounds is really gross.
Like all those people at the dinner party, like the dowager.
I
Yeah.
hated the
Oh,
She was
dowager
such a bitch. I was like,
with her cane just hitting
Yeah.
people.
when she finally got with that cane, I was like, all right, I'm into that.
That was
Like
the
I'm
perfect
for
way to
that.
take her out.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, the thing with Winifred is she exists in this like weird space in the book. And I think it makes it really interesting because she's a governess. So she's in charge of the kids and she's not known to be family in the beginning. She's not one of the servants technically. And she's also definitely not an equal.
No,
to
not at
them.
all.
But she's like, she has this unique ability to be able to like wander around the house and sit at the table and have more access to places and people without getting the same kind of respect
Right.
that someone would. And I feel like that helped tell the story really well.
Yeah.
Because she has all this access, but she's treated so poorly,
Right.
And I really liked that. I thought that
Mhm.
made it unique for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of, obviously, the Victorian high society is like a character in this book.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that.
the setting, like, it does
Just
become a
in and
character.
of itself. And I think it's like kind of flipped on its ear here because a lot of people think of Victorian high society as like, fancy and like gilded and like everything was so like, like they're elite, they're this. But she portrays them as disgusting.
Filthy.
Disgusting. Like the Victorian elite are just foul.
Yeah.
And I loved that. It was like little things like when she's going upstairs and looking at all of their rooms and she mentions the earwax on the pillow at some point. I was like, oh, like what?
Yeah.
And like just little thing like lard was in one of their hair to
Yup.
keep their hair back. Like,
The scene where they're all eating.
oh,
Yeah.
That I
eating
think
scene.
Mikie had warned you beforehand because
Yeah.
Alaina has misophonia. So like hearing things, I swear you could
Yeah,
hear
I
it
could
as you
hear
were
it.
reading.
It was foul.
That scene
Yeah, I
was
was saying
gross.
that was like almost like a nice counterbalance to the crow
yes.
meal. Like that meal was just as disgusting, even though these were things
Like
that were
fancy
specially
food.
prepared. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how they
Oh.
were eating it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. They're just
Oh,
like
it's horrifying.
like gouging it into their faces. It's so
yeah.
gross.
And I think I love that they presented it that way, that like these people look like may have all this money and they have all the power. But they are just as disgusting, if not more, than all
Than
of
everybody
us.
else.
Yeah. Like I loved that.
I know it was almost like the servants in the house were like higher society than the
Yeah.
high society people.
They had
Yeah.
it more together, I
Yeah.
feel like.
And the high society parents of other baby never even notice.
Yeah,
Like
that
they're not even
blew my
so,
mind.
like attuned to like their own kid. That like,
Yeah.
Oh,
And the fact too that Winifred knew that wouldn't be an
Right.
issue. She's like,
Right.
oh, yeah, I feel like she had done that before. You know?
And I was wondering too, when she brought new baby in, I was like, what's going to happen
Yeah,
here?
right.
Because in my head, I'm like, of course she's going to know.
That seemed like a corner impossible to write out of.
It
Yeah.
did. It really did.
But she really was just like, they're not going to notice.
I
like,
love
like,
it.
oh, yeah.
Like and it was part of the whole, like, look how disgusting these people
Yes.
are. She
Yeah.
doesn't even know her own child.
Right.
Like and it wasn't like, oh, I picked a baby that's like the same size. It
Right.
seems, she
No,
was like,
yeah.
this doesn't look like this baby at all. And not only that, it's like, it's not as big as this baby.
Right.
Doesn't look like this baby. Has a mole that baby doesn't have.
Oh, and she scrapes
She
it
just
off with her
scrapes
thumb.
it
Yeah.
off.
That was
I'm
the
also
end
like,
of
is the
chapter.
baby bleeding when you
Right,
return it?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
what?
and like that outfit it was wearing was like covered in blood, but she's like, I don't know, like babies, they throw up. Like
Well,
that's
she
probably
said,
what it
she's
is.
like, I've learned through experience
Yeah.
that like mess looks like blood. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's the same. And I
Yeah.
was like, and it worked. They just showed up
Yeah.
at the next thing, being like,
Yeah.
here's the baby. Like
And at
I
the next
love
thing
it.
with the baby a little older and looking even less like
even
anybody.
less
Yeah.
like it should have looked. And I loved it because she was like, its nose is going to look different, and that's going to be a conversation
Yeah.
later. I was like,
I thought
oh my
that was so
God.
funny.
But yeah, it was, and what's cool too is she obviously like did a lot of research about Victorian times and like
Yeah.
weird Victorian customs, because they were nuts. Like that whole mummy unwrapping part,
Mm.
I was like, what is this? And in my head, I was reading it and being like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Kelly,
And
does
then
this
I
happen?
looked it up and I was like, oh, that was a thing. Like they actually, like wealthy Victorian families would go to Egypt. They would buy an entire mummy as a souvenir, bring it home, have a party, and then they would all just unwrap the mummy. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest.
I'm sorry, what?
We're a strange society.
And like, for what purpose? I don't understand the
Morbid
pride. Like,
curiosity.
why are we
Just
doing this?
Bored, rich imperialists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we
So
can.
weird.
Right.
Very much that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were reading more like they were, they were talking like when she's dressing Drusilla and getting her ready, and like all these like features that they find to be desirable are all like features of like tuberculosis. Like that was considered desirable back then. It was like being super pale and like super frail, and the flush in the cheeks and
Like literally
know,
looking sick.
looking consumptive was the cool thing.
Wow,
And I love that she
gorgeous.
put it in there too.
Yeah.
Because it was all very real. Like again, the green dress, like that's a thing. I think she mentions the belladonna eye drops.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
a
yeah,
thing
right.
to like dilate their pupils, and they would just go blind after a while.
But
Like,
they'd be
it's
gorgeous.
insane. But they'd be gorgeous,
You
with
know?
big eyes. Like what? But one thing I really liked about this was in the end when Drusilla joins in
Mm.
and is all like doing all the things for days. They're
The
like
12 days of
ransacking the
Christmas.
house.
Yeah.
The 12
I
days of
loved that.
Christmas when they set them all up at the table and like feed them like food, like they're just like having a whole feast with them. I was like, this is the most fucked up thing I've ever read, and I love
Yeah.
it. But do you think that Drusilla actually was taking part in that, or do you think she was chained up the whole time?
Yeah, it's a great question.
I loved
sort of,
this.
I was going to ask what you thought about
Yeah.
Drusilla at the end too.
Yeah.
To go back to like, how much more of this is ambiguous than maybe
Mhm.
we think. There's a line early on in the book where I think, Winnie is confessing stuff. She says, I fear I am succumbing to elaborate flights of fancy. This shan't be like other times or something,
Yep. So
that's
she's like, this has
fairly
happened
early
before.
on. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think just because it's so weird to say that you enjoy your time with Winnie that you want to think all of this happened
Yeah.
Just as she
that you're
says.
there, just as she says, and that you're there with her at the end. And so we feel, or as the reader, I felt betrayed by Drusilla.
Yes.
I did too,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is so
she's
weird.
just a kid. And, and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
why do I feel this way?
yeah.
When I got to the end, I was like pissed at Drusilla. I'm like, come on, that's your sister. You're supposed to like ride together.
Right? Yeah.
But then once I finished reading, I was thinking about just her being kind of an unreliable narrator. And I was like, maybe I don't think Drusilla actually did help with all that. And then I think when she sees Drusilla in the crowd at the gallows and she's crying, I don't think Drusilla's crying because they had this killing bond together or anything like that. I think she's crying because of what happened to her family.
Yeah, like she massacred her whole family.
I think she was chained up for the whole thing. And I think Winnie just didn't want to be in an alone, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's a hard switch to flip. I mean, I think there were no clues of Drusilla's,
No.
potential psychotic behavior.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, prior to the, just to the like Caligula sort of
Yes.
12 Days of Christmas that,
Seriously.
that Winnie says she took a part in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the only thing I could think of with that I went back to. And I think this was smart of her to plant these little things in there, was like the painter, like the lecherous painter that she was into. And now, the mother got mad and then the father made her hold the locket up and shot it.
So
out
she
of
had
her
anger
hand.
toward them.
So I was like,
Right,
you
that's true.
planted that,
Yeah.
which like, obviously you're not going to be like, so you should kill your whole family. Like
Yeah.
but you could at least go back to it and be like, did that like break her a little
That's
bit?
true.
Like,
That's a little
could
hardcore to
that
have
have
that
been
shot
it?
out of your hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like having to hold a locket and have it
Yeah.
shot out of your hand.
Well, and I think the painter said something to her, and again, we can't be sure that he did,
Mm-hmm.
but she finds a note when she's putting Drusilla to bed, and he says something like, you have weird tendencies, so like,
Yes.
please
Oh,
stop
yeah.
writing me.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a good point.
So who knows,
Yeah.
was that real?
Like,
Like,
could that be just Winifred trying to justify
exactly.
the whole thing? Or trying to be
Exactly.
like, she's with me, like this did happen.
That's why I think the end is so fun, because you really can't be sure
No.
whether
Yeah.
Drusilla was part of it or if she wasn't.
yeah.
Right. It's strange to be made to want to think, oh, Drusilla's going to carry on as like the next
Yes.
Victorian cycle to
Right.
Electric Boogaloo.
Hey, it leaves it kind of open,
Yeah.
Maybe Drusilla's
It
story is
does.
next.
Who
Right.
knows? And I don't know, like which would you prefer to be? Like, was she taking part in it, or would you rather her have been?
I feel like I prefer her to take part in it in a weird way.
I know, it's
Yeah.
so
This is the
weird.
fun part of me, which I don't let out very often. That is rooting for that.
Right.
But I think, the more I think about it, I was like, I think, it's more, most of the stuff happened, but it's being refracted through Winnie and go towards what more realistic
Yeah.
interpretation. But
Yeah.
But she
I
was
don't know.
probably chained
Yeah.
up there. It makes sense.
It does make sense in the
I
end.
feel like unless she's like this like criminal mastermind and she like
Yeah.
partied with her for a few days and then realized they were going to get caught and was like, well, I'll just quickly do this.
Well,
no
you
one's going to
do-
believe that her over me.
They are related, so you do have to wonder, is there something, are they both
Oh,
missing
right.
the
That's a
same
good point.
screw,
But then again, are they related? Because Mr. Pound said that's not my daughter,
That's true. I think Mr. Pounds is
which
just a
made
piece
me
of
wonder
shit.
too. I'm
Yeah,
like, is
he's
he
a
just
piece of
saying
shit.
that to be an asshole, or
I think so.
is that really not her
when he talks
daughter?
about she talks at different times about being observed, and she's not sure quite by who, and maybe it's Drusilla. And for a while, she thought it was Drusilla.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
yeah,
There's a lot that you have to wonder
yeah.
from Winnie's perspective.
There
and I think that's
definitely
just
is.
fun.
You mentioned people to hate before. Like we haven't. I hated Andrew the most.
Oh my
I
God.
hate Andrew so much. And I was like, why do
I was
I hate
gonna
this
say, we have
8-year-old
to get
I
child?
know.
Andrew.
Is he only 8? Yeah.
I think he's literally 8
In my
years
mind, he
old.
becomes
he?
bigger and older. But yeah, he's only
Yeah.
8.
He walked in on the
He's such a
first
shit,
day and he
though.
was like, screw you. This is how it's going to go.
Yeah.
My last nanny was better than you. And I was like, you don't run stuff around here, little
Yeah.
Andrew.
And I think he was like licking food off of one of the nurses'
Yeah,
fingers, and I was
right.
like, no, I'm not.
No.
not
Yeah. Just Mr. Pound in training. Like
yeah,
no.
that's exactly what it felt like.
And that's the thing.
Well, it's funny, thinking of that because Lisa's a huge fan of like Jane Austen and other Victorian novels. I wonder, are you all Victorian readers, Austen, etc.?
I
I'm curious
haven't
as someone
been a
who,
big
who was a
Victorian
big
reader.
Victorian
No.
novel reader, what they would think of the voice, of the style, of the
Yeah.
setup.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well.
haven't read a ton of that. So
Yeah,
I thought it was really fun though.
I know because I feel like Victorian novels, usually like the ones I've read from like school and such,
Yeah.
I feel like they do present the Victorian age as like this very like fancy,
Whimsical.
whimsical and romantic time. which I'm sure it had elements of, but like
This is just,
one,
like,
I was
grubby.
like, oh.
Yeah, but I mean, I do
think
think there's an element of like the manners, like, 'cause I know
Yeah.
Jane Austen, was riffing on like the manners and using that
for sure.
using that to represent the difference between the classes as opposed to psychos
right.
killing babies.
Right,
But
exactly.
I think that there is the manners component to it, like
Yeah.
the dinner that we talked about, and just how Winnie is treated, and how she'll say things that probably in reality would have gotten her like fired right away,
Oh,
but
yeah.
for our benefit, that's funny. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I
Like-
loved the couple times where they'd be like, "Excuse me," and then she'd say something completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was great.
Like when she says, "Are we not allowed to eat the children?" Like
Right.
as she's like licking a calf head on like I was like, "What?"
I also just love that everything that went ignored that she did, like
Yeah,
I think it was like the first day that she was there, she bites into the calf's head.
yeah.
at
That's
Yeah.
the part.
Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about? Yeah.
And she's like, and somebody finds her, and she turns around and she's like, "Oh, we're not allowed to eat the children." Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and they were just like, "What?"
They're like, okay,
Yeah.
you're strange.
I love her. I just love how like unhinged she is. Like
And she
truly.
was always weirdly ruder to her coworkers.
Yeah.
She
right?
was, yeah.
Like, she talked at times about like dreaming of being, this is my forever family. Like she says
Mhm.
that a couple times,
Yeah.
even though, she has nothing but disdain for
She oscillates.
pounds, but there's still like,
She wants to be part of
yeah,
something.
I don't know if it's sometimes if it's humor or her, I don't know. Like, I'm not 100% sure like why.
Yeah.
That's what I meant like earlier. It wasn't just like, she's just scything her way through the
Mhm.
upper class.
Right.
Like there's no one is spared. Like,
No.
that's what I think makes her really difficult.
Yeah.
And even stranger, like how much we enjoy her. as a
Yeah,
I
character.
know.
Because she talks
Yeah.
about having like shelves lined with dead babies at home
Yeah.
As a child, too.
as a child, and that like she had a full grown woman like outside dead,
just
and she
couldn't
was like
fit
she
her
didn't
in.
fit on the shelf, and it was like, is that real? Like, did you
Yeah.
really do that?
And I think it is.
I think it might be.
Yeah. I think one thing that we didn't touch on that I would love to hear, like how you guys felt. Were you absolutely shocked when you found out that Mr. Pounds was her father? And do you believe that he actually was?
I'd say yes and yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
yeah, I think that's very believable. Even,
Yeah.
of other stuff is of her sort of creation.
I think the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
I was
was
shocked.
shocked.
But I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I got to that point when it was like John Pounds and my mouth literally dropped. And then you have to wonder, you're like, okay, like, is this the Mr. Pounds? So then I kept reading and it was then confirmed. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit. I
Yeah.
didn't see that coming.
And she went in there with a mission. So like when it happened, when it was revealed, I was like, oh, like this makes sense why she went in there with like a mission.
When
Like,
she had it like
everyone's gonna be dead.
arranged that she got that job
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought that was crazy.
I know. It was wild.
I
And
thought that was a
felt-
really good, just like all of a sudden, just like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
And it was weird too, like going back to like Drusilla, now that I'm thinking about it. It's weird that Drusilla did survive this whole thing if she wasn't a part of it. Because
That
I'm
is
like, why
true.
did you save her? Like, did you
Right.
see something that you like? And you kind of see throughout the book that she does kind of try to like guide Drusilla a little bit more than like Andrew or anyone else. Like,
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I wonder what that was, like what that connection was.
I wonder if it was like the unwanted daughter kind
Yeah.
of thing. Because
I think it
she's
might
an
have
unwanted
been.
daughter. And then
Right.
they're always like, whenever she brings up Drusilla to Mr. Pounds, he's like, yeah, whatever, Andrew. Like he's going to
Yeah.
take over the name, the family name. So
Mhm.
maybe it was that.
And like he gets all like the classes and all the people coming to teach him things, and she's just gonna learn needlework.
And get married.
Yeah, to get married. So
Yeah.
maybe that is it.
Maybe.
But I think it kind of lends itself even more to the ambiguity of the whole thing, because now I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe she was chained to that whole thing the whole time, or maybe she was part of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I also love that this has like I was reading it out loud, like certain parts of it to my husband last night because I was just like laughing at certain parts. He's like, "What is this?" So I'd read him a line every once in a while, and he was like, "What is this story?
hell are
Like,
you
what is
reading?"
going on?" But I think it has such a good mix of like pure horror. Like the
Yeah.
end is horrific. The baby being killed, horrific. And like
So
them,
funny.
even them eating.
so funny,
so
right?
funny. It's like, but there's real comedy in there
Yeah.
too. It's like such a good mix. And I feel like that's really hard to accomplish.
Yes.
A tough balance.
Because you're either, it's going to go too horrific and you're going to be like, the comedy doesn't fit here and it makes it weird and like, I'm uncomfortable with it. Or it's going to go too like goofy and then the horror feels goofy too. And neither of these felt goofy. It
No.
felt
No,
like
not
a
at all.
perfect
Yeah.
mix. And it reminds me, have you watched Widow's Bay?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I haven't
Yeah.
started it yet.
I'm like trying to recruit people to watch Widow's Bay now. It gave me because I think that show, that's how I've been describing it to people, is like the horror in it is genuinely scary
Yeah.
at times, but it is so funny. And the funny isn't overly goofy, where it like, waters down the horror
Yeah.
of it. So
Yeah.
it gave me that.
It's a great point, and I've in other interviews because I like horror comedies, but I think it's really hard to sort of say what you described is not to have the source of the comedy be the horror.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's what most horror comedies are.
Mhm.
It's really hard to find in my mind.
Yeah.
Horror comedies that are both scary and funny.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of film.
Mhm.
And I agree. This book does it. Widow's Bay is doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when we first started watching Widow's Bay, I was like, oh my God, they nailed this combo. And again, like you were saying, you just like don't really see that work ever. And so I was like, oh, this is like a diamond in the rough. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then reading this right after we started watching this, I was like, how have I come across two pieces of media that have done this so well in the same like 2-week span?
It's the horror renaissance.
It's the
going
horror
on.
renaissance.
I tell you.
It is.
That's what makes me so excited for this to now be
Yeah.
translated into film. I feel like it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm
On
nervous.
screen.
I'm nervous.
I know. I'm
know.
nervous. I'm scared. I'm excited.
Cautiously
yeah.
optimistic.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic.
But
Yeah.
we always have this.
Yes.
If
we
the
do.
film does not work, we have this.
Well, and the fact that you said she wrote the screenplay,
Yeah.
that gives me a lot of optimism.
Yeah.
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 All right. Now I think we have to get to what I think you might have come for, which is the rapid fire would you rather
All right.
kind of slasher edition.
Yeah. We got a mix.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a whole
There's
mix
some
in here.
like New England stuff in here.
Excellent.
There's
you know,
Victorian Psycho.
supernatural.
There's
All
some
right.
of your work in here.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
All right. So number 1, would you rather be trapped in a manor with Winifred for 24 hours or trapped in a group chat with every villain character from your novels?
I think I'll go with the group chat just because I feel like I won't die. I might be really annoyed and disturbed,
True.
but like I think I wouldn't last very long with Winifred in the house.
No.
Fair enough. And you can always throw on like do not disturb, you know?
That's
Yeah.
valid.
Yeah.
I think that's valid.
I think that's what I would do.
And I'd be afraid she would kill me and replace me with other Paul, and people would be like, "Oh yeah,
Other
that's
Paul
Paul."
with new
yeah.
Paul.
There's original Paul and then there's new Paul.
Yeah.
See, I hate like I'm one of those people that people will text me and I'll look at it and be like, oh, I should answer that. And then I just don't for like 5 days.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, I'm just bad at it and I get overwhelmed and like executive dysfunction. So I feel like being in a group chat
Yeah.
is my nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Well, and the villains in
And-
your book might kill you.
They might just, I don't want to listen to them. So I think, and I don't know, I feel like me and Winifred for 24 hours, we might be okay.
Could be a cool hang.
I feel like we might be okay.
You could have like a Drusilla and Winifred kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to believe that.
Or would there be other people in the house for her to kill just in case, or is it just you?
That's a good
No,
and
question.
Winifred?
one-on-one.
Just
One-on-one.
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 Okay, yeah.
So you do have to survive that.
Yeah.
Because she is going to have to go 24 hours
But it's
without
24
hurting
hours.
someone.
She started off pretty chill.
She did.
Give
You
her
know?
a calf's head.
Yeah, there you go. Let her lick you every once in a while.
Yeah, just give her your earlobe.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
You know what? Yeah. I'm in with
You going
Winifred.
Winnie? I'm going
I
Winnie.
mean, I don't want her to lick me, but.
Mm.
All right. So the next one is, would you rather have a ghost follow you forever? Just follow you around. Or a book reviewer follow you forever?
Dun dun dun.
Oh man, I think I'll have to go with the ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be very scary at night, though. But like, I don't know how you do it, but like, I actively avoid reading any Goodreads or Amazon. There Lies
None of it.
Madness. So, I mean, if you're talking like, oh, like a, I don't know, like a New York Times review is following me around, I fil like they might be a little bit more polite, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe
All
they
right,
wouldn't
true.
harangue
So
me
let's
as much.
make it, we're making it
But I
a
already said
random
the
internet
ghost.
reviewer.
Yeah. If it's
Okay.
random internet, then there's no
Yeah.
choice. I would do the ghost.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you 100%.
I'd pick a ghost too, just because I think that's fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like ghosts have followed me in my life, so
Yeah, there you
nothing
go.
new here.
And I
You
feel
know?
like you could eventually become friends with
Yeah,
a ghost. Like you could have a rapport at some point.
Yeah.
you get used to their tendencies. It's like
Yeah.
roommate.
Exactly.
I'd fear I'd annoy him because I'd start calling him Casper or something and they'd get pissed off.
And they'd be like,
Maybe
"Come
that's your
on."
bond,
Yeah.
though. You know,
That's true,
how you
yeah.
bond.
That's your thing.
All right. Would you rather receive one life-changing, terrifying supernatural visitation, like earth-shattering,
Just one.
just one, or would you rather receive one brutal Goodreads review every morning?
Which is
So I have to review it. I have to read it.
Mm-hmm. Just one every morning, which is a probably tough way
But
to
like a
start your
really
Yeah.
day.
brutal.
That's a hard start. Yeah. Geez, maybe, I mean, So, like 98% of my day, I'm a card-carrying skeptic atheist, don't believe in anything. But
Okay.
there's like the 2% where I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm totally freaked out. The next day,
Valid.
I'm like, Paul, you're such an idiot. So, like, I tell people that I don't believe, but I don't want to be proven wrong. So even though I'm
Healthy.
leaning
Yeah.
towards the first thing, because in some ways that would actually still also be really cool. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, there's this.
There it is.
There's,
Yeah, there it
there's
is.
This exists. So
Yeah.
I think I would go with the first.
Yeah.
Even though it would probably scare the shit out of me, and I'd be like,
Yeah, because it's going to be brutal.
But at least
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
one. It's not a bad review every day for the rest of your life.
right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that'll get you
That's-
down.
That's the thing. I feel like with proper therapy and help, I can get past a brutal supernatural experience that I can't explain.
That's true.
But having it happen like a brutal Goodreads review every morning for the rest of my life, I feel like that would take years
That's
off
too
my
close
life,
to
I
home. I mean,
think.
because I could do that easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So
You're like, I have
that's
access
something
to
that
that.
could really happen.
I could
easily,
do that
yeah.
right now, and I
Yeah.
don't want to.
Yeah. Don't do that. You too.
Yeah,
No.
no. So this one I'm really interested in. Would you rather be able to write a first draft in 1 week, or
Like Stephen Graham Jones.
yeah, just like boom, exactly, like boom, here we
That's
go.
how quickly he
Or
writes. Yeah.
would you like to be able to revise a manuscript perfectly on one pass?
I'll do the one pass.
One pass.
Yeah.
One pass on the
revision,
manuscript.
I was hoping you would answer that way because I also feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm fine with the first draft taking forever.
Yeah. I mean, as hard as it can be,
Mhm.
I love like how life sneaks in. Like it usually takes me 12 to 15 months to come up with a draft. And it's kind of fun. Like the book gets better by living with that book for that time. Like
Yeah.
Things happening
things that I never
around.
would have in that week, I never would have come up with. Like it took that time.
Mhm.
So
I like
I'm
that.
thinking I'm
Makes
taking this too
sense.
realistically, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true.
No, that's a
though.
realistic one, you know?
It makes sense because it kind of like dips into, if like something's happening that week, the writing's going to change a little
Yeah.
bit and the story might change with it or a character might change with it.
Mhm.
So I feel the same way. I think I don't mind like sitting with a draft for a while and like tinkering with it.
Yeah.
But once it comes to like the first passes and the edits, that's when I'm like, let's get
Yeah.
through this. So definitely that one.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one, this is also a really good one, I feel. Would you rather encounter a ghost from 1692 Salem or the ghost of a really salty sea captain from Cape Cod?
We're saying salty personality.
Yeah. And maybe he's salty
And probably
as well.
physically
He's probably
salty.
physically salty as well.
My knee jerk is to go with the salty person, but I think I would become really annoying because I know I would just start talking like them. Like, it's so bad. Like, if I talk to British friends for more than 5
Oh, yeah.
minutes, I start.
I
And
get
I'm
that
not
way
doing
too.
it on purpose, and I feel like such an
It just
asshole.
happens.
It just starts happening.
Yeah.
But I think maybe for the comedy of it, the salty sea captain,
I think that's a
because then I
fun
would
one.
have a new impersonation.
There you go.
Or
that you
speech
could just
pattern to
slip
do,
into
yeah.
every once in a while.
I would pick
I
that
grew up in
too.
Beverly next to Salem, so I'm like, I mean, I love that area, but give me the new, give me the new
something
guy.
new.
Yeah.
That's all.
1692 Ghost just sounds really scary. And they've probably really like faced a lot in their life. So
And I wouldn't
It's
understand
true.
what they're saying, like
Yeah.
how they talk.
old
That's
Have you ever
true.
seen the movie The Witch? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I love that movie, but like, I don't know what
You'd
they're
have to
saying.
constantly be
Yeah.
like, what?
and then you might start talking like that and
Yeah,
yeah. yourself.
it's true.
That's
Yeah.
true. See, I might, regardless of all of that, I might pick the 1692 ghost
That just makes sense for you.
because I just want to know
Yeah.
everything. Like, I think I'd be like, sit down, tell me it all. Like, what happened here?
Yeah,
I need to know. I want to know everything.
that's fair.
I also want to know, like, are there still bodies under, Gallows Hill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Burial Point?
Like you're still thinking Widow's Bay. You want to hang
Yeah.
out with Hamish.
Exactly.
Warren, the Warren guy.
Yes. I
Like
want to
that
know.
episode, yeah.
Like, tell me what it is. Like, they haven't figured out if there's still bodies buried in that
think there
area.
are.
And I'm like, you got to tell me. So,
Yeah. You'd ask about like Giles Corey.
oh yeah, I'd be like, what was he like?
Yeah.
He was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But, like, iconic at
Rock
the same
star.
time.
Yeah,
I'd want to know all of that.
I get that. I'm going Sea Captain.
I get it.
Yeah, just fun.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fine. So I'll get the 1692 person.
Yeah, and
you
we're
guys can get
together
the
all the
salty
time.
sea captain.
And we'll sing sea songs. Sea
Yeah,
shanties
cheers.
together.
Yeah.
I
There you
love
go.
it.
And
I
then we'll all
love it.
get together and we can learn things.
Compare notes.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. This one's kind of heady. Would you rather have definitive proof that ghosts do exist or definitive proof that they do not?
Which we kind of touched upon, but
We did sort of.
I think the first one would be more fun. Like, so like I would say, like I don't have to prove they don't exist. I mean, to me, that's almost like the assumption. Like
Okay.
you
That's
would
the
have to
default.
prove the other way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think you'd be like the most famous person on earth, and
that's true.
you'd totally cash in on proving. I'm just thinking, I want money. I'm a
Here it
full-time
is.
writer now. I need
Hell
money.
yeah.
I'm desperate. So yeah, let me prove the ghosts and, write 4 tell-alls
Yeah.
on it. And
Oh, interviews, like
yeah.
one-on-one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Experience.
I want proof that they exist simply because that's just, I don't want to live in a world where they don't exist.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how I
What's the
feel.
fun in that? What's the fun in that?
Because I always say the same thing. Like, I'm a very healthy skeptic at times, but I want to believe more that they do exist.
We've
So, like,
had so many
that's the
experiences
thing.
that it's crazy to me
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
still skeptical.
well, and my first knee-jerk instinct is to try to explain it with some kind
We
of
grew up in a
logic.
haunted house.
and I try to explain it, and sometimes I can, but sometimes I can't.
So many things in that house we
Yeah.
grew up in, inexplicable.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely been a lot of things, and that's why I'm more over on the side of like, okay,
Yeah.
I think there are something. I don't know what, but
Yeah.
So I've when I'm always posed that question, I feel like I disappoint people. I say, yeah, like, because I've never experienced anything. And,
yeah,
and I've always said, I feel like if I were to experience, it wouldn't be like Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It would be really subtle
Yep.
and just off. And like,
Mhm.
as time passes, I would want to explain it away.
yeah,
And that would just be the way it would go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know if that adds anything. I was just thinking about
I think
Yeah.
Well, and I had like one thing that happened in our house growing up that I to this day like cannot explain, and that's the
Yeah.
one that really like got me like, what was that? We had like my house used to be like an old farmhouse, so it's got all this like crazy history and
Yeah.
it's super old.
We found like weird shit buried
Yeah,
on
there's
the
always
property.
weird shit buried there. And the primary bedroom, like my parents added onto the house, but the primary bedroom like used to be my bedroom. And it always had weird shit going on in it. But again, I was like, it's fine. Nothing's weird here. And it became my parents' like art studio when I kind of like got older and I moved into another room.
That room is scary as hell.
And it's scary now. And we had like, it was when we had, which like RIP computer rooms, where it was like the room where the computer lived.
Mhm.
They used to shut the door every time. And you had to go past the primary bedroom, the
Yeah.
old one, to get to the computer room. And one night I was walking past it to go to the computer room. And the door was shut. And something from behind the door hit the door from inside so hard that I jumped across the hall, like into the wall. My dog like jumped up and was like, what the hell was that?
Whoa.
I think my dad heard it and was like,
He
what
came
did
running
you
up the
just do?
stairs,
Like,
didn't
what
he?
was that? And I was like, I have no idea what that is. And it was in there. He opened the door. Nothing was against the door. It sounded like somebody took fists and slammed them against the door. And it was right when I walked by.
That's terrifying.
And that's the one that I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know how that happened.
In that
I
same
would say that's a
room.
good one.
Yeah.
That same room,
Yeah.
I used to spend the night in that room. If like you had people over or something, I would sleep in
Mhm.
that room. And I was on an air mattress, like watching the Disney Channel probably. I was like 10 years old. And there was this like Tupperware like container thing full of old magazines. And it was probably like 2:00 in the morning. And it just slid across the room with like crazy force. I screamed so loud. My grandparents came running, you came running.
Yeah.
And there was no way to
Yeah.
reenact that or
Yeah.
anything.
And it wasn't
that
like the
room-
house tilted all of a sudden.
No,
Yeah.
because it was so forceful.
Yeah.
That room has weird
Yeah.
energy.
So see, if you tell me that and then say you have to go stay overnight in that room, I would be like, hell no.
Yeah.
Like,
I
even
never
though
slept
say
in that
I
room
don't-
again.
Even though I say I don't believe, like,
You're like,
go
I don't
stay in
want
this
that.
purportedly haunted house. I am not going to do that.
Yeah.
No.
So I guess on some level, I fear I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You have a healthy fear of
Yeah.
them.
I
You
feel
don't know
most
if it-
skeptics feel that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy fear is there.
Yeah.
All right, so bringing it back to the Bridgewater Triangle.
Mm.
If you were dropped into the Hockomock Swamp, just right into the middle of it, would you rather find giant cryptid type footprints everywhere or perfectly normal human footprints that should not be there?
I would. I was gonna say cryptid, but then my daughter would just make fun of me because when she was a lot younger, she used to love Bigfoot stuff. And
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
there's no
so
such
fun.
thing as
Who
Bigfoot. And
doesn't
she gets so
love
mad at me. What would I rather? I mean, I guess I would rather see the cryptid. I mean, that would
Yeah.
be so cool. Be like,
Yeah.
to be wrong and be like, oh wow, there is this
Look at
weird
that.
giant ape Bigfoot thing that
Yeah.
runs around.
Yeah, and who wants
humans
to
are
like
scarier.
I was going to say, who wants to
think.
come across a serial killer in the woods?
Yeah.
No one.
No.
Like, I don't want to come across a random person in the middle of the Hockomock Swamp.
Yeah.
That's my worst nightmare.
I'd much rather run into Bigfoot.
Just be one with Bigfoot at that point.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah, like take on their customs and everything.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I love it.
And I'd
Yeah.
start knocking on the trees with rocks to
Yeah.
communicate with them.
For your
Let's
hair
go.
really long.
Yeah.
Get crazy with it.
We could bond.
Yeah.
It'd be
Hell yeah.
fun.
That's what I'm doing.
I like it.
All right. Would you rather have Winifred plan your wedding or host your funeral?
Geez. Well, it seems like family and loved ones are both in danger, in jeopardy in both
That's true.
scenarios.
That's true.
Right?
That's very true.
Oh,
At least she doesn't have to be at your wedding.
I'm going to be really selfish. I'd say plan my funeral because I'm already dead.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like if it was my wedding, there's a chance that I could be one of
Yeah.
the
Like
people
the
that she
red
kills.
wedding.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
I was
don't
also
want I don't want my
thinking that.
wedding to be a bummer. My funeral's already gonna be a bummer.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So she could just make it more of a bummer, I guess.
She might liven
Exactly.
it up even.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah.
And you just don't have to deal with the aftermath. So it's nice to not have to
Exactly.
clean up
Yeah.
after her.
Yeah.
You know? I feel that too.
I feel her wedding plans would be a little too macabre for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So she could do my funeral.
I agree. So back to some ghosties. Would you rather be haunted by a Puritan ghost who judges everything you do, or a Victorian ghost who constantly corrects your etiquette? Both horrific.
Yeah. I think I might go Victorian because
Yeah.
the etiquette stuff doesn't bother me, probably much
Mm.
to the chagrin of some people that know me. Yeah, it could be easy to laugh off that ghost,
Yeah.
the etiquette ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Ma is kind of an etiquette ghost.
I was going
so
to
I've
say, I
already
think I
been
grew up
followed
with
by
a
one.
mom
Yeah.
who is
Yeah.
that. So,
I'll just take that. I'd
Yeah.
be used to it.
same, because the Puritan ghost
Ugh.
would make me crazy. Like, again, I'll take the 1692 Puritan ghost that like
Yeah.
hangs for a second and just
Yeah.
tells me things. You got to go after that. You
Yeah.
can't
So
stick
I
around.
would, just to take the logic up further, like if the Puritan ghost is telling me not to do things, it's like, well, if there's a Puritan ghost, maybe, the God is their God. Like maybe,
Oh, yeah.
shit, I shouldn't be doing this stuff.
So
And that
there
would
you
really
go.
mess with my head.
That's true.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's a really good
I
point.
can ignore the etiquette, but like if
Yeah.
the Puritan's like, you're going to go to hell if you do this, this, and this.
You're
I'm
like,
oh,
maybe I am.
That just becomes
Maybe.
like OCD.
yeah.
Yeah.
That becomes too existential for
Yeah.
me, and I
Yeah.
would start losing my mind.
Yeah.
I think for sure.
Yeah. Victorian etiquette ghost for sure.
Yeah, and after reading this book, you could just be like, "You're gross." So
Yeah.
you have
Listen,
Yeah.
no.
I know
Why are
about
you
you.
telling me this?
Right.
Did you unwrap a mummy? Okay.
Yeah, go unwrap a mummy.
All right. You are dropped into the middle of the Bridgewater Triangle at midnight. You can choose one companion: a ghost hunter, a cryptozoologist, a priest, a witch, or Stephen King. Who do you choose?
Oh, Stephen and I have exchanged a bunch of emails, but I've never met him in person. It'd be kind
Oh.
of fun to be in the woods with Stephen.
Hell yeah.
Hope he's okay with that. I don't know if he would want to be in the woods
Does
with
he
me.
want to be in the
He
woods
gets
with
popped
you?
in there no matter what.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steven.
yeah, me
you
and
heard?
Stephen.
Yeah,
That'd be yeah. That's definitely for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. That's your choice too.
That
for
was my
sure.
choice. I was like, because I could be my own ghost hunter. Like I don't need
We've
help
ghost hunted.
with that. A cryptozoologist, I feel like would just be like, "Oh, look, that's Bigfoot," and I'd be like, "No, I know." Like
I've done my own
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
that's a pukwudgie. I know. I've researched
Yeah.
this.
I'm from here.
A priest.
No.
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 I just, no, thank you.
A witch.
A witch.
We are.
Yeah, I was like, I could be my own witch,
You know?
so
Yeah.
that's fine. And then I was like, Stephen King in the middle of the Bridgewater Triangle, or
Yeah.
like the Hockomock Swamp. I was like,
Just start writing together.
I was gonna say, then maybe we could be like, let's come up with a story together.
Yeah,
We
based
could
on your
write together.
experience.
Yeah, just to have a hang with Stephen King in a weird space.
I mean,
If Stephen hears this, think he's
Dream.
going to start writing Misery too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
We're like, we
fans-
want to be
I'm
in the
stuck
middle of the woods with
two
you,
fans.
Stephen.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's like, oh, help.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what is yours?
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
I feel the same as you. I can be a ghost hunter, like all
Yeah.
the same reasoning, and I've never met Stephen King, so
Yeah, why not?
I'd
A
hang
hang
with him.
with
I have a lot of
Stephen.
questions. I
Me
want to
too.
know about Mambo number
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I
How
really
he
want to
became
know about
obsessed
that.
with that song.
Yep.
What if he like tried to be like a real woodsman and was really bad at it? It's like, hey, we can eat this mushroom. Trust me. I'm
Just-
Stephen King.
it's
You
fine.
eat it. And like, oh my God, I'm
No.
dying.
Like,
Yeah.
trust me, I'm
I mean,
Stephen
there are some
King.
potential pratfalls to it, I suppose.
There are.
True. It'd be silly.
Because I might believe him. Like if he ends the thing with "Trust me, I'm Stephen King," I might be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you are right. So you are Stephen King."
Well, then you
I'll
just
eat
be
that
tripping
berry.
in the woods. That's kind of fun.
with Stephen King.
Yeah. Who can say they did that?
There we
I
go.
definitely would choose him over Grady Hendrix. Like Grady would be
Every
useless in the
time,
woods.
of course.
Grady.
Yeah.
We're not plopping
He'd
you
just
in
be
the
complaining
woods.
about like bugs. And, yeah. Ask you to hold his blazer. His,
I
like,
know.
He's not used to New England.
although like his like lime colored blazer might help us see
There
as
you
we
go.
like work our way through.
It could
the
be like a
woods.
flare.
That could
Yeah.
be
for
that could be
help.
advantageous.
That could.
You know?
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "Damn, I thought we had fun on that."
I know. It's like, well, I
Thanks
guess
a
I will be
lot.
joining them again.
Yeah, real nice.
Barring them for my next event.
Well, speaking of Grady,
Yeah.
Last question.
Okay.
would you rather fight one Stephen King clown, so Pennywise
Oh,
essentially,
yeah.
Yup.
or one Grady Hendrix possessed IKEA product or horror store product?
I think I'd go with the horror store. I don't know. I think the clown is, too morphy.
Yeah.
I've read Horror Store was a while ago. I don't have as much a memory as what they could do
So you
besides
just-
like suck me into the store into like the other dimension. I don't know, but I feel like I could fight a bookcase named what's it called, like Benny or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yup.
Yeah, it's hard to be scared of
of Benny.
Benny.
That's true.
It's true.
If that's I have some of those in my house.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna look at them askance.
And put your dukes up.
Yeah. Square up.
See that? I thought this was easy, and I think it still kind of is. Like,
Oh,
I
it's
think,
easy for me.
Like Pennywise is too much like every fear of yours
Yeah,
he
right.
can just become. So like
Mm-hmm.
no, and especially like the big spider. No, thank you.
Ugh.
But I'm also like, it's also one of my biggest fears to be locked in an IKEA. Like when you get lost in that loop and you can't
Yeah.
find the right way,
Yeah.
that's horror.
See, for me, I'm gonna find the meatballs.
You are gonna find the meatballs.
Yeah,
So
so
there's
I'll
that.
survive.
That's actually smart.
Thank you.
They have cinnamon buns too, I think.
You do.
So that okay.
Yeah, they have good
I'll-
stuff.
I'll fight Grady Hendrix's
survival.
products. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is survival.
Yeah. It scares Pennywise scares the shit
Yeah.
out of me. So no
I think it's
thanks.
colloquially,
Yeah.
I think it is it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everybody thinks of it as it.
I know, it's so
true. But yeah, that's our would you rathers.
You survived it.
You killed
All
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got too mathy with it with my logic. But
No, I like
yeah,
that.
You're a
all
math
right.
teacher. You
That's
have to.
smart.
You're only recently retired. It's
That's
not
right.
completely
Exactly.
out
I
of you.
haven't gotten rid of it
It's
yet.
going to
Yeah.
leach out every once in a
Yeah.
while. And honestly, Grady got very into it as well. He thought through
did.
them.
I know. I heard him. He asked for extras. Like,
Yeah. He was
what a-
like,
what a
let's
jerk.
go.
We had to get
Give
them on
me
the
more.
fly.
I know. We were like, oh my God.
Like, oh, shit, we have more. All right.
I was like, shit. But I think that went well. I think we all
Yeah.
survived
Well,
that.
thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I-
no, that was a blast.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
Thanks for joining
My,
us.
my absolute pleasure.
We this was so much fun. We've been so excited for this. And
Oh, same. Well, thank
yeah,
you.
thank you. And everybody read Paul's books.
Yes, please.
Go watch the adaptations. They're amazing. And Stephen King, don't send us a cease and desist.
We just want to be friends, Steve.
Just in the woods.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
want to hang in the woods with you. That's
That's
all.
it.
Okay.
You can go anytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. So before we go, Debra Dreaming of Electric Sheep coming out June 30th. Go get it. You heard what it's about. It's going to be awesome. And Paul,
Yeah.
if you have anything else to plug or you want to further plug,
I guess I would just, I don't know when this podcast is going to run, but on July 2nd, since we mentioned Grady, like he and I will be at the Strand, New York City
Yay.
Oh,
bookstore,
hell
trying to sell this book.
go there.
I've tried to convince him I'll wear the suit and he'll wear a t-shirt with tattoos.
That
but
would
I
be
don't know if he's
amazing.
going
You
for
should wear
that.
the lime green
Yeah.
blazer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke.
I love that.
I love it.
So go check them out. Go see where Paul's going to be and go get his books.
Or else.
Yeah.
We'll fight you.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. We hope you keep listening, and we hope you
Keep
it
weird.
but not so weird that you don't go buy Paul's books.
Do it.
You better. Thank you again to Ashley for sponsoring today's episode and for sending us this gorgeous, gorgeous furniture. Ashley is the largest furniture store brand in North America, and they're focused on helping people create comfortable, functional, and a stylish home or pod lab that they can feel proud of at a price that feels accessible and reassuring. With eye-catching designs like the ones that you saw in my pod lab, Ashley can bring a balance of timeless appeal and modern trends to your home. Stain resistance performance fabric options that are durable, easy to clean, and stain resistant with machine washable cushion covers are great for anyone who's ever been worried about owning a white sofa. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable white glove delivery right to your room of choice. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style.